Hey guys, so today we are going to talk about a newborn session without siblings. So mom and dad, first kid, newborn session at home. So as we know, I do lifestyle sessions. So I come to your house. Typically, if you're in the Stafford and Fredericksburg area, I can be there about 10 o'clock. Further out, like Alexandria, Woodbridge, stuff like that, it's more along the lines of 10:30. And occasionally I'll travel, an hour and a half, like Waldorf, Maryland, or way out to like Leesburg. And then those sessions usually are around 11 start time. But usually try and get the early morning light because that's the best. So when I arrive, you'll have already gotten directions like the day before of just some things to do to get the baby tired, feeding the baby before I get there, making sure they're burped, and making sure they're wearing like a white onesie or something that you want to have them photographed in. The least amount of times we can change them, the better. So once I arrive, I'm going to go ahead and get started in the nursery. I'm going to get details of any decorations you have, anything you've got up on the walls, obviously getting pictures of the crib, changing table, places that, a chair or something that you might sit in, just basically, taking interior photos of the nursery. So you remember all those detail stuff. I know for my daughter's nursery, I picked all kinds of stuff. And so I want to be able to look back later and remember that. So once I photograph the details of the nursery, usually by then you guys are ready, baby's ready, and we'll go ahead and start. A lot of times we'll start with the baby. So I'll have you go ahead and put the baby in the crib. And I'll get some pictures of the baby just hanging out in the crib, some very lifestyle shots. I focus in on the toes and the hair, any facial expressions as long as they're happy. But we go ahead and go through all of those images. And then I'll usually swaddle the baby. Because a lot of times they're about borderline right now on whether they're not screaming, but they're not quite asleep yet, which is great because I love pictures of babies awake. So we'll go ahead and get photos of the baby, like I said, awake in just the onesie, and then I'll go ahead and swaddle the baby. And then we'll do some more kind of posed but natural posing of just like the baby hanging out in the crib, or if you've got a cool rug. I also bring blankets and swaddles just in case you don't have one. I usually try to use something that you have. But I have a pink, a blue, and a white, so pretty generic. But if you've got something that matches your nursery, then we definitely want to use that. But I've got stuff for backup. So we'll go ahead and swaddle the baby and do some cute pictures of the baby swaddled with a cool backdrop of some sorts. Like I said, whether it's a rug or I've got a blanket that I bring, or maybe you've got a blanket in the nursery that you want to use that somebody made or something along those lines. So once we've done the swaddled baby photos, typically baby's pretty well knocked out at that point. So we'll go ahead and do pictures of like mom with baby and dad with baby. A lot of times I'll do mom in a chair starting out with, I'll do dad standing, and then I'll add mom in. And so we kind of focus on those images. And we do those in the nursery. And then once we're finished with the nursery, we'll go ahead and move on to like maybe the master bedroom, or we might move on to the living room. It just depends. I'm looking for a room with good light. A bedroom works great because you guys can all pile up on the bed together. Sometimes we'll use a guest bedroom because that just has better light than the master bedroom maybe. Or maybe it doesn't have baby stuff all over it and that makes it easier. So once we get through that, we'll go ahead and do, like I said, pictures on the bed, hanging out, that kind of thing. I try to make sure that we've got at least a couple setups with just mom and the baby, a couple with just dad and the baby, and then obviously baby alone, and then mom and dad together with the baby, because I want you guys to have a good variety of photos. And then typically, once I finish up at the end, I'll ask you guys, is there anything that we missed? Is there anything on my website you saw that maybe I didn't take this time around that you really loved? Because I'm happy to do that. I have kind of a shot list in my head, but maybe there was something you saw that we didn't take and you really want that photo, and I want to make sure you have it. So just absolutely let me know. If there's a grandparent or an aunt or somebody there, we want to get a photo of them with the baby too. So usually I'll ask at the end, are there any other photos? And a lot of times people will tell me, oh yeah, can you get a photo of grandma with the baby because she's here? And grandma's gonna say no, and I'm gonna tell her she has to say yes. So you can totally put that on me. I don't have a problem, but grandma's gonna say no because she's not prepared. She didn't do her hair and makeup, and she's like, I'm not good for a photo right now. And I'm gonna tell you, you want that photo of grandma with the baby. So we're gonna do it, and I will guilt her for you. So it makes it, it's nice. So that way she's got a little photo of her with the baby and stuff too. And that's pretty much it. I tell people, I'm going to put you into poses, and then I'm going to tell you to interact kind of, I'm going to tell you, look at the baby, smile at the baby, stare at the baby. I mean, that's really, it's look at the baby, then maybe look at me. And then, I'll make some jokes about maybe that baby's filling filling that diaper right now while you're holding it kind of thing. But I try to keep it really relaxed and really easy. And just so you guys get some natural photos of you hanging out with the baby. And that's pretty much it. A normal session with just mom and dad and baby, first baby, you know, as long as the baby's happy and not screaming, like 45 minutes, maybe an hour kind of thing. I do a lot up to an hour and a half for newborn sessions because I leave room for top offs and stuff like that. So sometimes I get there and the baby's just fussy or the baby's cluster feeding. And so we've got to stop every 10 or 15 minutes and go ahead and feed the baby a little bit more. And that's totally fine. As long as the baby's not screaming their head off, we're good. If the baby's awake, that's not a problem. Baby's asleep, that's great too. Just no screaming. And although sometimes the baby will be screaming and I will make sure the baby's facing you guys and I will have you guys looking at the baby and I'll be like, all right, smile. Like, we're going to pretend she's not screaming her head off right now because I can't see her face. So we're all good. And then everybody laughs later on because they're like, remember that photo? Oh man, she was mad in that photo. So that's it. That's pretty much how it works. I'm going to do some more videos talking about different things from sessions. The next one I'm going to do is talking about siblings in a session. And then I'm actually going to break it down to toddler boy siblings and toddler girl siblings because those are two very different sessions. All right. I hope you guys enjoyed this. And hopefully it helps with, you know, figuring out how a newborn session is going to go. Thanks so much. Bye.